life is not a straight line. Either does it go in a circular way, because if it was a circle, you would expect it at one point to be tilted in your head is upside down, but it doesn't move in a circle. Either does it take a straight line. I think it is a triangular. So we should always learn to bend with it. Since it is not obvious that it is going to take you around or it is going to take you straight, we should be flexible and expectant. Like once it turns, let's also flex with it, because we can never make life bend with us. We can never order it to go the way we want it, but we can go the way it wants us to be. Then later, actually, you can make it go the way you want it. My name is Ines Cologne for the Shoe World.
True, life takes us to different perspectives. It can be success or failure, but all is our responsibility. Today we are going to talk about lifestyle. When you hear lifestyle combines all the social, behavioral, personal, and religious habits depending on someone's socialization. Now the query is, how is the lifestyle of girls in slums? How do they manage to cope up with life? What are the finances? What are the costs of living? Jessica Kimbra is my name. Let's take a very short break and we shall be right back.
Wandiyagadde okumanya ekirooto kye ki? London Media Academy ekuwadde omukisa eri ggwe alina ekirooto eky'okukolako ku radio ne TV, okusoma amawulire nga ky'osoma ky'okwatako. Wamala siniya ey'okunoba ey'omukaaga, tulina diploma ne certificate mu journalism and mass communication, video production and filmmaking, graphics designing, 3D animation, web designing, marketing, public relations n'amasomo amalala mangi. Tulina studio ez'omulembe eza radio ne TV. Basomesa abakugu abali mu mawulire. London Media Academy tulina enkolagana ne Islamic Core University. Jangu wewandiise mu lusoma luno, abaana 10 abasooka baakusalirwako ebitundu 3 ku buli 10. Olina gy'osomera naye nga tufuna practicals. Jangu tukuyambe. Tusangibwa Old Kampala opposite St. Matthew Mulumba Church. Essimu 0751 14 73 51 0751 14 73 51. London Media Academy.
Very short commercial break, and we are going straight. How is the lifestyle of girls living in slum areas? Have you ever gone by a slum area? Do you stay in a slum area? How is it? How do you find life there? How are these girls managing or surviving? Because it's not really easy, because we all know we have different classes of money, like income earners. We have the high class, the middle class, and then the low class. I'll take the low class to be the class, part of it living in the slum areas, and some part of the low income earners living a fairly, not too good, but fair places. And then, do we have rich people living in slum areas?
It's very rare to find, so that there are some.
When they bought land there?
Yeah. You know, most of land in slum areas is relatively cheap. Yeah. So a rich person may decide to buy an acre of land to construct his house there, but on a rare case.
So is their life the same as us, like this other girl, the small girl, the one coming from a very low income family?
Not really. As you know, there are some people who are privileged to live a luxurious life, and others who have not been able to experience so. You may find that this rich one who is living in a slum can access all the things, as in what they need, education, welfare, but then you find this other one who is living in a small separate house there, making all the possible ways, efforts to access that.
Are there schools in slum areas?
Yeah, they are there, but most of the standard is not generally good as you may expect.
So that definitely tells us that this small girl staying in a slum area gets poor education.
And even the feeding and the health is not so good.
Yeah, that one can never be good, because you can't tell me like that place that is very dirty, disorganized. There is no work plan for the building. You find this house facing the neighbor's toilet, and then you find the other one is bathroom pouring its water in my compound. So I don't expect that life to be anywhere better. And in most cases, these rich people who go on constructing in these slums, they make their trenches, pour water in this other person's place because they don't have anywhere they run onto. That causes diseases to these small girls. Because
and then when you look at the infrastructure, most of the medical centers, you may find that there are medical centers, yes, but then
they don't have medicine.
Accessories.
And actually, they normally give out Panadol only. Like you go for medication, someone is sick of typhoid, say.
Then they give you Panadol and the list of drugs that you should go and buy. Yet you find that these medical centers are supposed to be government aided.
They are government aided. Things are changing nowadays, you can't tell. You go into a government hospital and after the doctor doing a medical checkup, actually even before you go in to see that doctor, he's like, have to clear 5K consultation. What for? I'm sick, I came for help, and someone wants me to give 5K for just talking to them. And then later they're like, you're sick of this and this. Go find a clinic, find medicine. What is that? That hospital shows it is government aided, and it being government
at
aided.
times when you go for drugs, they'll be like, we are out of resources. Maybe we can make for you a list, then try out somewhere, maybe in a pharmacy, and then you find in the pharmacy like drugs are expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
This poor girl cannot even afford to buy tissue, Mr. sanitary pads of just 3K. Then you send her to buy drugs of 10,000. What's that for sure?
So I think it is the government to work on it, because we get resources from abroad, we get money, we get medicine, and I wonder, it's only in Kampala and I think they take that medicine to Munyonyo.
How sure are you?
Yeah, like it is not in the slums, obviously. It is in the other I class where they put everything. There are loads of wood. The hospitals are well built. They have every kind of medicine. Forgetting there is someone who really needs that medication, who badly needs the Panadol, not the Panadol. Panadols are always there in quarter. Some other better medicine that can really work effectively on someone who is sick.
And talking about still the infrastructure, then the road paths. According to the way the settlements are, you find that people only have these corridors and footpaths, which they refer to as roads, for sure. You find that someone's house is exactly after the other, and in between there is just like a small corridor. And then these young girls have faced a lot of problems with those small footpaths. You find that they don't have lights, and that brings us to sexual harassment in slums.
Yeah. And we're going to start from there. Let's take a short break and come back.
welcome back from that break. Just from where we stopped the sexual harassment. Yeah, what do you think brings all about that in slums? So why is it always slums that you hear such problems like defilement, rape, which is not the case to these higher zones?
I think because these areas are cheap to obtain, like someone getting a settlement in a slum area is easier. And at times these people have not gotten any access to any better place. They end up in slum areas, causing a lot of people staying in a very small place, and it is even congested. So remember, these guys at times when they are coming, they are growing up, they don't get access to the good information or the information they need to have as they are growing up to maybe mold them into better guys. I would say men, because sexual harassment comes from the boys to the girls mostly. And in most cases, in some areas, guys, they are normally use drugs. I don't know why. They tend to turn to self-destructive activities like drugs, alcohol, and smoking. Yeah, so when they take the drugs, I have my neighbors who do it. They tell us after taking the drugs, they feel very high and they can do activity. And some claim that since they have many problems they cannot tend to, they turn to take that alcohol. There is a way it makes them forget their problems, not realizing that the moment it's done, still you come back to the same problems. Yeah, but still, in slum areas, we've gotten some good people. These people grow up in small areas, so because of that, they normally dream big. They dream having something great, something better than ever the parents had, and they tend to work harder than the person who comes from a cool family. That they always have beautiful ideas, just that they're still limited because of lack of accessibility and financial support. Also financial support. So they end up still being there. But it is one positive thing from people who grew up from slum areas. They're always hardworking, innovative. They always think, how can we get out of this, or how can we make this our poor home a better home tomorrow? Yeah, and they tend to also be creative. You find that some small girls are participating in things like knitting, art and crafts, some small businesses which you may not find up there, because those well-off families, the children tend to think that since our parents are rich, when they die we shall inherit, that's all. But not all of them. Not even just inheriting. Some of them are like, why should I read? What's the reason for me to read? Because I see when I watched Queen of Katwe, that was this small girl coming from a very slum area, poor home, with only the mom. And the one who was doing too much of chess. She used to go get a small light, katala. I'm forgetting the name. Yeah. And then she reads just because she believed in change. So and that she's hoping for better tomorrow. Yeah, she works very hard. So this child who is in a home, electricity is never off. They don't know whether Umeme can put it off or not. They don't know whether it rains outside or it shined. They don't know. I had a kid. They asked her like, where do we get food from? And she was like, from a supermarket. I remember that. And then there's also another, they told, where do we get milk? And she's like, the fridge produces milk. So they don't know what happens. So those kids feel reluctant, like everything is there. There is no need for them to work. After all, they don't know even where they come from. That's where the kids from kids that have grown up in hard times, instead of giving up, going there, weeping, instead of focusing on what to do about it. Yeah, by the why do most of the girls in small areas, the slum areas, end up going for boxing? Last time I was in not Kamoch, I was at Kalere, and I saw a lady wanting to fight with a man. and I've had many of them going for boxing. Why?
As you know, slum areas are too nucleated.
Do I need to have that net so I can beat up whoever can?
Maybe you've never been there, but there are lots of insecurities. Even if the government decides that let us increase security there, it will end just here on the mere. But then inside there are lots of things you can't even think of.
So that's why they go for boxing, for their protection.
Yes, and if you ask them, why do you go there? Most of them will be like self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yeah.
Okay. I better can't. Okay, so I can beat up someone. Maybe I'll try out our producer.
Maybe. I see you can hit him.
Let us not forget, we are sponsored by the London Media Academy, located opposite St. Matthew Mlumba, and we are powered by the CBM
Classic Brothers Mountain. As you know, they deal in a lot of things, as in a lot. That is production, filming, comedy, media, and others. I can't mention all of them, but just know there is a lot. And if you want an academy to go to, you have passion in journalism, media, or let it be media presentation, just go to London Media Academy.
I've had so many cases of people donating, like people giving out. Do they also go and give out? Normally, when I'm watching news, I see these people donating to Tiny Babies Home. It is located in a very good place. But we also have orphanages in these slum areas. I don't know why people never reach there. They only go.
Some schools do so. Maybe organizations may not do so, but schools do so. That's why you hear these clubs in schools like Mempro, you hear of Gallup. They also do such donations.
Do they reach out like to that? I've never seen that. I only see people do donations in open cameras where the camera will reach them and they are put somewhere like they did this. I've never seen them go do donations in slum areas. These girls in these places really need help. They need help in many forms, be it food. You might be home and you're like, posho is not food. I personally don't like posho. If they cook it at home, I better not eat. But this girl needs it. So don't just be there with your sack and you're like, I can't eat it. Maybe I'll dump it. No. Find some place. These people need that posho, the beans you don't eat, the mukene you hate. They really need it.
And they do not only need.
People need that posho, the beans you don't eat, the mukene you hate. They really need it.
And they do not only need hope, but also educative like counseling and guidance. Then there is these reach outs like teach them how to cope up, how should they live, not only by providing them, yes provide, but also give them that knowledge behind.
Knowledge behind what? How to leave the slum area, how to the slum
many
area
girls in the slum areas have not been able to access schools because of they can't access education. But when you go there, yes, you've taken things there, then try to educate them, also sexual education and others.
Okay, I think they are. Okay, so we call upon our government to please do some changes in some of these parts, because we all know the slum parts in Uganda, know that the government doesn't know where they are. They are everywhere, most is. So the government should try to put in a strong hand. I always hear when they say, Mabademo mukono gwa government. I pray this mukono gwa government
also
goes to the slum areas, other than hearing it in places where they have murdered someone. My name is Ines Coloring. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media pages, Instagram, Ines, Twitter, Ines Coloring. And then go subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have the Strasser TV, and then the CBM Brothers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, put a comment.
And also thanks for watching us from where we started up to now as we are closing. Don't forget to tune Strata. I know Strata is your favorite. Just go to all our social media handles, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.